Hello, everyone. I'm so happy you're here with me today. Today, we're talking about life after survival mode. 5 ways to thrive, not just survive. Have you ever made it through something hard only to realize that getting through it was not the same as healing from it? But you kept going anyway. You showed up, you did what you had to do, you took care of all the people who needed you. You handled the appointments, the diagnosis, the loss, the betrayal, the grief, the responsibility, the family needs, work expectations, the hard decisions, or the long season you never expected to walk through. And from the outside, people may have thought, she's doing just fine. And that made them feel better to see how good you looked. But inside, something still felt different. That is where today's conversation begins. Today, we are talking about life after survival mode and 5 ways to begin thriving, not just surviving. Because survival matters, let's not dismiss that. Sometimes survival is holy work. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is get through the day in front of you. There are seasons when thriving may feel too far away to even think about, and simply putting one foot in front of the other takes everything you have. But survival was never meant to be your permanent address. There comes a time when healing begins to ask a new question. Not how do I get back to who I was before, but who am I becoming now? That is such an important shift. Many of us have been taught to think healing means returning to normal. We want life to go back to what it was before the illness, before the trauma, before the loss, before the relationship changed, before the betrayal, before the diagnosis, before the grief, before the season that shook us. But sometimes healing does not take us backward. Sometimes healing invites us forward, not into life where nothing hard ever happened, but where we not where we pretend everything is fine, not into a life where we erase the story, but into a life where the hard thing no longer defines the whole story. That is what it means to thrive, not just survive. If we haven't met before, my name is Terri Sterk. I am a wellness coach and an author. I serve women like you and like me, those who have experienced challenging seasons, to help you nurture wellness of body, mind, and spirit. And today I want to talk with you through 5 ways to begin moving from survival mode towards peace, hope, and healing. The first way is this: acknowledge trauma as part of your story. Your story is where healing often begins, but it can also be the place that we resist the most. Many women are good at pushing through. We know how to keep going. We know how to take care of ourselves and others. We know how to keep the calendar moving, the meals going, the family functioning, and the responsibilities covered. But sometimes we move so quickly into managing life that we never give ourselves permission to acknowledge what life has done to us. We say things like, other people have it worse, or I should be over this by now. This happened so long ago. I just need to move on. But telling the truth about what happened is not dramatic. It's being honest. Trauma exists on a spectrum. It may come from illness, loss, betrayal, abuse, grief, disappointment, a family rupture, a diagnosis, a financial crisis, maybe a season where everything you thought was secure finally felt uncertain. And here's what I want you to hear. Acknowledging trauma does not mean you are choosing to live in the past. It means you are giving yourself permission to stop pretending the past had no impact. There is a difference. You can acknowledge what happened without building your identity around it. You can say, this changed me, without saying, this destroyed me. You can say the season mattered without giving the season permission to control the rest of your life. One of the most healing statements we can begin to practice is this. This is part of my story, but it is not the whole story. That is powerful truth. The second point I want to talk about is to give yourself grace in face of fear. Fear may come, but you do not have to be trapped by it. Fear is human. It often follows up when something in us is trying to protect us. If you have lived through a hard season, your body and mind may stay alert long after the danger has passed. You may find yourself waiting for the next problem. You may overthink conversations. You may feel tense before appointments. You may feel like you need to brace every time the phone rings. You may read more into someone's silence than is actually there. That does not mean something is wrong with you. It means your system learned to stay prepared. And that here is the challenge. What protected you in that season may limit you now. There is a difference between being aware and living on alert. Awareness says, I am paying attention. Living on alert says, I will never feel safe again. Grace helps us notice the difference. Grace helps us to slow down and listen. Instead of saying, I shouldn't feel this way, try saying, what is this fear trying to tell me? That one question can change the way you relate to fear. Maybe fear is telling you that you need more information, or that you need a boundary, or that an old wound has been touched and triggered. Maybe it's telling you you're stepping into something new and unfamiliar. Maybe fear is telling you you need support. Fear is not always truth, but it is often information. So instead of letting fear drive the car, we can invite fear to sit in the passenger seat while we use our wisdom to take the wheel. A simple practice is to name it, speak it, and reframe it. Naming it says, I am feeling afraid. Speak it means, this reminds me of a time when I felt powerless. Reframing that says, I am not in the same place today. I can take one grounded step forward. That is grace in action. The third point we'll talk about today is to stop believing every thought that crosses your mind. Now, this is a big one. Our thoughts can either help heal us or keep us stuck. Now, that does not mean we should ignore our feelings. Feelings do matter. Emotions give us important information, but emotions are not always full of truth. Sometimes they are signals. Sometimes they are memories. Sometimes they're reactions to old wounds. Have you ever had a thought like, I just can't handle this? I always mess things up. Nothing is ever going to change. I should be further along. I'll never feel normal. Those thoughts can feel true in the moment. Feeling true and being true are not the same thing. That's why the pause matters. Before reacting, before spiraling, before agreeing with the thought that you're having, pause and ask yourself, what else could be true? Well, what I mean is, instead of, I can't handle this, maybe the truer thought is, this is hard, but I can take it take the next step, one step at a time. Instead of, I should be further along, maybe your truer thought is, healing takes time, and I am moving forward. Instead of, nothing will ever change, maybe the thought should be, I cannot see the whole path, but one small shift is still possible. Instead of, I am broken, maybe the truer thought is, I have been hurt, but I am still whole and becoming. This is not about fake positivity. I do not believe in pretending that pain is not real. That does not help us. This is about telling yourself the whole truth, not just the painful part. This is hard, is the painful part. This is hard and I'm not alone is the whole truth. Some thoughts need to be replaced with truth. The fourth way to thrive is break free from limiting beliefs. A limiting belief is the story we accept to be true. It's the story we tell ourselves, even when it may not be fully true. Most limiting beliefs do not announce themselves loudly. They often sound practical or protective. They're often very familiar. They may sound like, I'm just not that kind of person. It's too late for me. I can't start over. I'm not capable. I'm always going to be this way. I don't deserve peace. I have to keep everyone else happy. If I speak up, I'll lose connection. If I slow down, I'll fall behind. Limiting beliefs become dangerous when we stop questioning them, because what we believe shapes us is what we choose. And if our belief is limiting, then we're choosing a life that isn't what we fully expect or what we need. One of the ways we begin breaking free is by asking the honest questions. What you notice a limiting thought, ask, what would change if I lived from hope? Living a life of hope instead of fear. Let's take one example. Maybe the belief is, it's too late for me. Then you ask yourself, is this actually true? Maybe the honest answer is no, it is not too late, but I am afraid of starting again. Ask, how do I feel when I believe this? Maybe the answer is, I feel discouraged. heavy, stuck, resentful, small. Ask, who would I be if I believed the opposite? Maybe the answer is, I would be curious. I would take one step. I would stop closing doors before I even knock. You stop agreeing with the belief that keeps you stuck. You may not be able to change everything today. That's way too much to expect. But you can begin to challenge the story that says nothing can change. The fifth way to thrive is to create your better normal. This is my favorite and one of the phrases I coined years ago. I love it because it gives us permission to stop chasing the old version of life. After a traumatic or difficult season, we often say, I just want things to go back to normal. And I understand that. I have said that. Many of us have said that. But sometimes the old normal no longer fits. Sometimes we've changed or our priorities have changed. Sometimes our values have changed. Our values about our body, our mind, our spirit, our relationships. That does not mean life is over. It just means a new life is asking to be built with more intention. Creating your better normal begins with asking, what no longer serves me? What am I still carrying that I was never meant to carry forever? What matters more to me now? What do I need to release? What do I need to rebuild? What kind of woman am I becoming? The better normal includes more rest, perhaps. Maybe it's a healthier boundary. Maybe it includes honest conversations with those that are causing us pain. Maybe it includes letting go of perfection, making peace with a slower pace. It could involve caring for your body rather than pushing. Maybe it includes faith practices that ground you or asking for help. Maybe it's creating space for your joy again. A better normal is not a perfect life. It is a more honest life, a more grounded life. It's a peaceful life. It's an intentional life, a life that reflects who you are now, not who you were before everything changed. Thriving does not mean you never struggle. And but it does mean you no longer allow pain to have the final word. It means you can honor what happened without surrendering your future to it. It means you can carry wisdom from the past without carrying the weight of every wound. It means you can say, yes, that happened. Yes, it changed me. But no, it does not get to define the rest of my life. That is life after survival mode. So let's bring this all together. As you've listened, I want you to ask yourself, which one of these do I need most right? Acknowledge trauma as part of your story. Give yourself grace in the face of fear. Stop believing every thought that crosses your mind. Break free from limiting beliefs. Or create your better normal. You do not have to do everything at once. Healing is often built through small, faithful steps. One honest moment, one brave question, one reframed thought, one prayer, one deep breath, one decision to believe that your story is not finished. And because this topic matters so much to me, I'm hoping it will mean a lot to you. I have created a free guide, and I'm calling it The 5 Biggest Mistakes That Keep You Stuck in Survival Mode. It is a gentle guide to help you move toward peace, hope, and healing. It will walk you through common patterns that keep women feeling guarded or drained and stuck after hard seasons. And it offers gentle shifts to help you begin moving forward. Because again, this is not about blaming yourself. If you have been stuck in survival mode, there is probably a reason. Your mind and body were trying to protect you. But now perhaps it's time to ask a new question. What would it look like to live from hope, a place of hope and healing? Leave a note in the comments or send me a private message and I'll send you the free guide. The 5 biggest mistakes that keep you stuck in survival mode. As we close today, I want to leave you with this encouragement. Thriving is not about pretending everything is fine. It is about choosing hope when life feels uncertain. It is about learning to listen to your body, renew your mind, and nourish your spirit. It is about rebuilding with grace. It is about becoming who you are now. You have walked through fire, and you are still here. That means your story is not finished. This is still beauty ahead. There is still purpose ahead. There is still peace available to you. There is still a better normal waiting to be built. Thank you for joining me today, and I really hope this encouraged you. I would love for you to share it with other women who may need a reminder that survival is not the end of the story. So again, leave me a note and I'll send you the 5 ways to thrive. The 5 biggest mistakes that keep you stuck in survival mode. Until next time, keep nurturing wellness of your body, mind, and spirit, one faithful step at a time. I'm cheering you on.